Hi, I'm Brittany here with your art fail of the day. So today we're gonna be going through this thick sketchbook. I can't remember how many pages it is, but it took me forever to actually fully fill this. I had bouts of like art block that it took me a while to even sketch in this. I think there's 2 different years of New Year's resolutions in this, including this year's. So we're gonna take a look inside it to see how far I've come. And if you notice, I have it decorated completely with different stickers. I didn't get to fill really the back side, but front side got well collaged with stickers. Okay, so it looks like I started this in 2019 with the Inktober's in October. And I didn't complete this until November. So that gives you an idea of how many drawings and sketches will be filled in this sketchbook. So here I just had the prompts for 2019. This was day 1 with the prompt being ring, so I drew a dolphin, kind of at SeaWorld, jumping through a ring. Day 2 was mindless, so I of course did a zombie in his cemetery. And you can also see these on my Instagram if you'd like to scroll through them on your own time, so we're not sitting too long on each page. This is day 3 was bait, so I have fisherman with his fish. Day 4 was freeze, so I did a mammoth and an ice cube. Day 5 was build. Drew some cute little dinosaurs and pajamas building, apparently. That's really adorable. I might turn this into something and do a redraw this kind of thing. Day 6 was husky, so I drew, it must have been like a werewolf or husky dog, and he's like lifting weights. Day 7 was enchanted, so I of course drew a prince frog on his mushroom. Day 8 was frail, so I did a little greenie with her walker. Looks like I added her little cat. I like her cat t-shirt. She's definitely a cat lady. Day 9 was swing, so there's a little bird on his swing. Day 10 was pattern, so I drew a detective figuring out the pattern to his mystery. Day 11 was snow, and because it was my birthday, these snowmen are celebrating my birthday. Day 12 is dragon, so of course just a little dragon, ink drawing. Day 13 was ash, and I drew a bird, a megapode. I'm not sure why. I'm assuming because it lives around volcanoes or something, maybe? Leave in the comments if you Google it and figure it out. And day 14 was overgrown, so I did an overgrown brick wall with like a thorny bush, it looks like. or vine plant. Legend was day 15, so I did Atlantis, it looks like, with the bubbles. It's under the ocean and the shell. Day 16 was wild, so I drew a bunch of wild animals. Oh, and we get an interrupt in our Inktober because Critical Role did a segment where they did like drawing characters with Marisha and Babs, and so this is one of the first pub draws I did of Reenie. I wonder why they don't do that anymore. Babs must be busy. Okay, so day 17 was ornament. Day 18 is misfit, so it's the shark who has fish friends. Day 19 was sling. His poor teddy bear in his sling. Day 20 is tread. So he's treading carefully in this haunted house. He kind of looks like Shaggy from Scooby-Doo. Day 21 was treasure. This little girl treasuring her stuffed teddy bear. Definitely well worn with his eye falling off and his ripped ear. Day 22 was ghost. So I did a ghost rock band apparently. Day 23 was ancient. So there's this ancient jeweled cat in this old tomb with snakes. Day 24 is dizzy. I did the teacup ride with the Mad Hatter as the middle teapot. Day 25 is tasty. I got a little adventurous with some color in here. Day 26 is dark, so I did kind of a nightmare, looks like. And here's another pub draw. This is, it wasn't really into season 1 of Critical Role, like I haven't listened to it, but this was one of the twins. And day 27 is coat, so I drew a fancy coat. Day 28 is ride, riding a horse. Day 29 is injured. Day 30 is catch, so she caught some lightning bugs. She kind of reminds me of, is it Darla from Finding Nemo with the fishy? This is more pub draw. This is supposed to be Orly, the Tortolin. And I drew a little chibi version of him. And finally, day 31 of Inktober 2019 was ripe. So I drew a bunch of fruit. Now it skips all the way to November 22nd, 2019. I practiced my shading with different coffee cups and teacups and stuff. And Thanksgiving of 2019, I drew a bunch of turkeys. This is 28th of November, still the same year. think this is a little stream behind my parents' house. And December that year, I drew little comics of what happens. We do a live nativity at my church, and this was one of the comics of what happens behind the scenes there. Then I drew the donkey that was part of our live nativity. Here's another comic that it's kind of, they're almost inside jokes because you would really only get it if you were part of the cast of the live nativity. Okay, and here we get to 2020 and my goals. I didn't really do resolutions for 2020. And I already checked off the things I did accomplish. So it was improve my watercolor skills, which I did. And get back to creating videos, which I think this was kind of during my, like, a little bit of a art block, art slump. One of the times that I did. Create more landscape art and write more. I'm still having that issue of not writing enough. And then read more. I've been reading a lot actually, and so I read 50 books in 2019. Or no, that's for 2020. So in 2020 I read 50 books, but we all know what happened in 2020 and why I would have read way more. I must have started a doodle a day January and had like prompts for each day. So this was sleep with this kitty. I think this was just me practicing like fantasy character faces and stuff. I don't think this was another pub draw because I would have put the hashtag on it. Yeah, and then here's like a lion guy with a beanie. Practicing noses and shading, and then with different piercings. So this was a group here that I redrew one of their Instagram photos. They're still playing and doing stuff, so this was kind of the start of their comeback. And then this was like going around Instagram. I can't remember what the hashtag was, but it was where you took like a real picture and then did the other half in your art style. Practicing, I think I did this from a Mark Crilly book where it's like the two pencil method, where it's like you like this dark part is black colored pencil and then the rest is regular pencil, and how you can get your different like shading done with just those two things, which is scary for me to, especially this like dark black. More of that same practice. I need to get back to practicing that. This is a comic I drew of me coming back from the gym, and then there happened to be a vulture hanging out in the street when I got home. Here's another pub draw. I really enjoy doing these because it got me to fill my sketchbook. Well, more pub draw. This is Ford. Just some animal sketches, just some like cartoony style. Some plant sketches. I think I drew these from my prayer plant, which is no longer growing. Kitty and some mushrooms, it looks like. Here I did some watercolor but didn't finish it. Like I sketched and then started in watercolor and then didn't continue. So this is some fan art I did for a book character. Fane from, what was it called? It was a Ted Decker book, and I read that whole series and I just loved the way her character was described. Oh, the beginnings of Mermaid. I think there's only a couple of these, and then that's where I got really hit with some art block. So this is May 1st of Mermaid. Oh no, that was, so I did one mermaid and then it goes on to June and I drew a little kitty in a cafe. Doodle a Day August, so we skipped July completely and the rest of June because I think this was early June. Yeah, mid-June, and then we skipped the rest of June, July, and then August. So the Doodle a Day August, what I did is like tacos was, did I erase these as I go? No, this was a later day, but I think as I like looked at the prompts each day, I would just add to this illustration. So there's a lot going on here, but I kind of like those illustrations where it's like the more you look at it, the more you're like, oh, that's a, like there's a marshmallows here, there's a squirrel trying to roast the marshmallows, there's a raccoon stealing cheese puffs over here. Like, I just love those where the more you look at it, the more you find in the photo. So that's what I did with the Doodle a Day prompts for August. So if you want to pause and just look at this a little bit longer, then Doodle a Day September, I started and didn't finish. So August really helped with art block and getting me back into drawing because I only did a little section at a time. And then September I tried to do that again, but then it just was too much. And then October I did this spinal column, which is flowers on it. I was starting to go through my health struggles around this time, so this also explains why I was hitting art blocks and stuff. And I didn't do Inktober in 2020. I like totally just didn't force myself to do it. So this is just some different Halloween spooky drawings. with ink. I still did use ink, but I just didn't do the prompts or full Inktober that year. Here's some goops, some sludges. I did this because this is how I felt that day. I just felt like a sludge or a slug, and so I just drew a bunch of different like sludgy slime characters. And here's me practicing different faces again, different face types. Trying a braid down here, different hairstyles. I believe I looked at different ones to draw. And now my resolutions for 2021. I didn't succeed in any of my art goals for 2021. My reading goals, I hit 57 books. Or my goal was 40, but I hit 57. And then I did deep dives into the Bible, and I still did not write more. So we're into 2021 now. This was the start of another doodle every day prompts, and then I abandoned it again. So now we're skipping to March. So I had a whole another month, two and a half months of art slump. And then I drew some more plants and practiced drawing hair. Did some Bible verse type designs over here. And I practiced ornamentation because I got a ornamentation like a reference book that's like copyright free. So I this dragon I drew on my own and then added like the different designs from the ideas in the book. This was I think I took some of this from the book, but then I added like the basic shape was from the book, but then I kind of added my own flair to it. Same thing here. Now this is Doodle Day April, and I don't think I did the whole illustration thing I did before. I just tried to draw each day if I could. And this one I did 2 and 3 together. So I'm doing good in April of 2021. Drawing every day. Oh, is this must be for Easter? With the tomb and the rock rolled away. And I did a teapot. I like this veggie drawing just the way I shaded it with colored pencils. Looks like a city. And a cardinal. Still keeping up with this Doodle a Day April. Some jelly toast for day 9. Day 10 I did a bird on a bird feeder, which I didn't write any of the prompts, so they must be something to do with them. Looks like a nice ornate table with stuff on it, and a cozy reading chair with the little kitty on the footstool. I don't know why this is a recliner, but then it has an ottoman. I apparently don't design furniture for a living. Praying mantis. And this, oh, I actually wrote this one. It was statue, but I did a gargoyle statue. He's pretty cool. Blank page. Still doing doodle to April, so I just did smaller ones because I must have not been feeling the full page ones. But I actually did watercolor on these too. And this is another comic about social media. Mermaid 2021. I don't think I did the full mermaid for this year either. This one was my like one where it was more like a more fish than person design. Yeah, and then so this is like my shark mermaid. He's pretty creepy. I'm here practicing some elves it looks like, and fairies. And then I like these. So apparently his name is Gobbo Gobbertson, and this is Gabba Gobberson. They're goblins. And this is where I started to like push myself to draw more. Wait, let's look at the, so this is, yeah, so here we skipped a whole month before I drew again. And then I skipped the rest of June. I have trouble drawing in the summer months apparently. July, this was the only thing I drew. So my method was to draw something without a reference and then use a reference and see how much better I did with a reference. So this was my shark without a reference. So this was shark. I wrote on the side shark page. Then we skip a whole nother month and then I did cows. And is that another month? No. Okay. Still, the next day I did chickens. So we're still in the same month here. My without reference chicken isn't too bad. Same with my pigs aren't too bad. Still in the same month. Then the next day I did pigs. And so I skipped like a week and then did boba tea. And then we're on to August. I did a cat page. My dog page. I did 2 pages of dogs. I guess because there's so many different types of dogs. Like with cats, it's kind of like there are a lot, but it's like long-haired or short-haired or Persian kind of thing, and mostly it's their like stripes, which I didn't do any stripes or anything. I just did like the basic shapes. I didn't do a Persian cat. But yeah, my dogs without a reference are kind of lacking. And then I did different houses. And in October 2021, I started but didn't finish, I think. So crystal, a suit. Yeah. So for this year, we're not quite at the end of the year, and I'll check them off when January rolls around, but I wanted to read 60 books. I've already done that, which I could check some of these off already. So I've read 60 books this year. Get back to focus on creating art and have fun without stress, which I believe I started doing that with good breaks in between when I get a little burnt out. I did not do my first draft of my children's book I want to write. I kind of went in a different direction with planning it out. So I planned it, kind of, but I haven't started writing it, which is, I guess, most writers. They think and don't write. And I haven't spent enough time writing either. Not exercising daily, but I don't know why I gave myself daily. To get exercise daily. That's a tall order to fill. Maybe weekly would have been better, but. And then I did a little bit of Bible journaling, but not as much as I wanted to. So I won't cross that off yet, because I don't believe I've achieved it enough. Maybe I can with the next few weeks, but I doubt it. Okay, so the Cat March Mob. I don't know how this started, but on Instagram, they draw cats for every day in March. So day 1, I did a plump tabby cat. Day 2, I did a hairless cat. He looked so grumpy. Day 3, I did another plump guy. Day 4, this was of my own cat with her face in a blanket. I don't think I finished Cat March Mob. I don't know, we'll see on the next few pages. I did a 1 hour 1 sketch. If you want to look up that hashtag or Instagram account, they post a new image every week to try and challenge you to draw it or create an art piece in an hour or less. This one was of some dogs and 2 cats. Nope, I continued Cat March Mob. Here's day 5, 6, and 7. Wait, did we skip a bunch of months again? No. So I started drawing some avatars. This one was for this channel, but then I didn't like it enough, so I redrew it. This one's for my Twitch channel. I go by Loverbird. So that's why she has a bird on her head. Mermaid, I think I did good with Mermaid this year. I wanted to do more fish than person. So I wrote the type of fish that I modeled my mermaid after. So yeah, day 3, day 4. This is my eel. They kind of turned out more creepy, but some people like more of the monster mermaid rather than making them like cutesy and pretty. So, and this is my seahorse mermaid, and my lobster was day 6. Kind of like my lobster. His arm is the only thing really well, and maybe his smile, you could say, are the only mostly human parts, and his eyes. He doesn't have very much human in him, but neither does this seahorse, so more fish than human. This is my clownfish. I know I was starting to get tired of it here, just because they weren't turning out the way I wanted them to. And of course I didn't do a full page, I was starting to do half pages. this one I had fun with. It was like a seaweed underwater mermaid, so it kind of turned out more like a nymph almost, but underwater one. This is my octopus. I didn't really like her that much because when I get like tired of doing these challenges, then I like start drawing not as good as I want to, and then it just turns out not great to me, and then I get upset, and then it kind of starts that whole like art block and bad things. So I don't do challenges a lot just because that happens. This is just a lazy dog drawing I did, because it looks like I started Junicorn 2 on this page. So this is actually in my Redbubble shop. This guy, I took him into my digital art tablet and made him into merchandise. You can get him on a sticker. So Junicorn Day 1. This is for a weapon design contest for Final Fantasy Online. I didn't submit this one because I didn't end up liking it. I sent in more of like a forest one because I figured everyone else would be doing more of an edgy design, so I didn't want to do like a skeleton one. And then I started on a sage design, but I just couldn't come up with a good one. Okay, here's the rest of Junicorn. And so day 2 I drew a derpy one. Day 3 I did a sleepy one. Day 4 she's eating a veggie burger. Day 5 it's like a glamorous, fabulous unicorn. I did these more cartoony because I knew that I would start not liking drawing a horse every day. Like an anatomically correct horse would start aggravating me. I get better at horses, but this way I kept up with the challenge. So day 6 I did like a vine flower unicorn. Day 7 I did an emo unicorn. Day 8 I did another fabulous unicorn shaking her hair in the breeze. Day 9 he's sitting in a pool with a floaty. Day 11 I just did a smaller unicorn sparkling. Day 10 I did a unicorn with what looks like a magical cat, or maybe it's a magician in disguise as a cat, like Professor McGonagall. And now we get to July. So I get sent like where you buy flower seeds and bulbs, those magazines, I get sent those. So I started using them as reference photos to draw a bunch of floral things. And I actually, all of these I wrote what flower they were. So that's a good way that I found to get me sketching. Here's some birds, because I also get a bird magazine. Still July, so I'm keeping up that month with sketching. Here's my new avatar that I drew for this channel that I liked better than that past one I showed you. But I also practiced drawing faces over here. Here's another shark page. This was during Shark Week that I just drew a bunch of different types of sharks and labeled them, of course, all using references. I didn't just like pop these out of my head onto the page. I had to look at reference photos. Here's more flowers from the flower magazine. Same with this, came from that flower magazine. And then this is the start of Inktober 2022, which I finished out this sketchbook with. It looks like I totally skipped a month between these two. So I had a small art block there too. But quickly, Inktober's Gargoyle. Why didn't I write the prompts? I think I did later, but then there's a mouse, but I can't remember why. And then a bat. I think that prompt was just bat. A shell. Once again, can't remember the prompt. A jack-o'-lantern. Bouquet, which I think that was the prompt. I think vacation or trip was the prompt for this one. So she's in front of a cruise ship, posing for like either a selfie or just getting a picture taken. This prompt was pear, so I did go fish. Some dragon or eggs or something. I wish I wrote the prompts. I did crab rangoon with the crab claw sticking out still, which that was part of, I think the prompt was crab for that one. And then I drew a zombie eagle, and I can't remember what the prompt was. I like him though, he's kind of creepy. This one also one of my favorites that I did this year. There we go, I started writing the prompts. So this one's forget. It's the brain. A brain is very hard to draw. This is kind. He's giving a little flower to the giraffe, which I'm sure the giraffe is just gonna eat the flower. Empty, the firefly jar. Armadillo. Fowl. Salty. Scrape. Scrape was hard. Ponytail. And these I mixed with like markers and actual inks that I have, plus using like the Pigma Micron pens and stuff. So I did a mixture of inks this year. Bluff. Bad dog, tearing up the poor teddy bear and wrecking the house if you see behind him. Heist, where the raccoon is stealing some of the cat food. The 23rd was Booger, but I did Oogie Boogie from The Nightmare Before Christmas because I thought Booger was too gross for me to draw. So I switched up that prompt a little bit. And fairy, this is where I started. Like some of the days you can tell where I just like didn't want to do it that day. Like these ones are all good. And I had fun using actual liquid ink here. But like scrape was one of the days, and ponytail where it was just like I didn't want to draw that day, and it showed in how well I drew the thing. So next time I might like sketch ahead if I'm feeling good about art that day, and then all I have to do is the ink part. I don't think that's cheating when I draw the sketch ahead anyway before I do lay down the ink. Some people do straight ink. I did that one year, but it's a little too stressful sometimes. Tempting, I really like this one because I did the cupcake and then all the desserts and stuff. Ego, I did like what's actually inside your mind. If maybe you kind of on the outside you show that you are confident and stuff, but on the inside you're not so sure of yourself. Snack, I did Cheetos, but I called them cheese with a Z, and I practiced like doing the little indents and crinkles of the chip bag. Camping, that one was a good day. Uh-oh, I did the cat knocking everything off the table like they do. Gear, and finally farm. That's the end of Inktober 2022, and you'll recognize this maybe from a past video, but I finished it off with my 4-marker challenge. And this little dragon writing in his journal. And because of the page inks through to the other side, and here's where I did my swatches. And that's the end. So that was my 2019 through 2022 sketchbook. I've started stickers on this new little sketchbook. I figured a smaller sketchbook wouldn't hit me with so much art block. So I'll do a page of that in a future video. But for now, that's this sketchbook tour. I've decided not to put any more of my sketchbook tours on my Loverbird channel, and just put them on here because I'm gonna reserve Loverbird for like other stuff. Yeah, if you enjoyed this, please give it a thumbs up. Please subscribe if you want more art videos. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a great weekend and a wonderful new year.